Uh, it's just the camera on your phone or the camera on your laptop. What are you using?
Camera on the laptop. Mm,
Because in the option for video, there's video settings, and then you can check to make sure the camera of your laptop is selected or uh,
That's the video settings, huh?
yeah, in the video settings, yeah.
In the video settings, okay. So where are we? It says mirror my video camera, integrated webcam,
Yeah, so there's a heading, yeah. Uh,
and then there are three options: original ratio, HD, and mirror my video.
yeah. And above it, it is just one choice. You don't have another choice. Where the name of the camera is. There's because I have more than one option on my laptop. I have a down arrow next to the name, and I can choose,
Only one option.
so that means that's the camera. Okay. The camera's selected. And
Yeah,
do you see any image above? Uh, yeah, there should be a big square, and that's where you see.
integrated.
You just see a black.
Yeah, it's just black. Um,
Uh,
what's up? Trying to touch up your appearance or adjust for low light. Um, it's just black.
yeah, means the camera's not working on your laptop. Mm,
It's not working. Eh?
mm. Are you sharing a PowerPoint?
Yes, I'm sharing PowerPoint.
Well, try sharing to see how it looks.
Okay.
I'll stop sharing my one, and so that should allow you to click the green button to share.
Okay, yep. Share.
Yeah, I can see my personal and life of faith journey. So uh,
Yeah,
that's come up.
okay.
And just click full screen because at the moment it's just with the slides to the left and that just so slideshow. Yeah, yeah. That's
Is
gone
that
full.
okay?
Yeah. That's very
Okay.
fine. No problem.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
we don't see you. We can hear you.
So, yeah, probably I think it's a problem with the camera of the video.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it says lemma, but I'll try to remove that background. How about now?
No, no,
Still no?
no. The video uh, Yeah, is usually on the laptop. Yeah, up the top there's like a little dot, a little place where the camera is, and it should be. As long as you don't have something in front of your laptop camera, then the camera's not working. If there's something in front of the like you've got like some tape or something on top of your laptop, that could be covering the video hole, but otherwise it's the video not working. Mm.
I've had the issue before, John, and there's a little slider at the top of the laptop where if you slide it left or right, it turns the camera on or off. I mean, like it shuts the camera, like makes the camera invisible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible if he has that option. Most laptops don't. Only some laptops have that.
Okay.
I don't,
All right.
So I
Sorry,
don't know.
come again.
Well, he's saying that at the top of your laptop, there may be a little slider that you slide along, and that can open and close your camera. Like puts like a little shield in front of it. But if you don't have a slider, then the camera just looks straight. All up. I can see you now. Oh, no,
You can
now I
see me
can't.
now.
Well, no, just for a short second, I saw you. So there must be. Yeah. Now I can see you.
You can see me?
Yes,
Okay. How
you're
about now?
sideways.
Huh?
Now I can't see you at all.
Okay. How about now?
Still not something you did earlier. There you're back. Oh, no, you're gone. There's something in front of your
What's the problem
camera.
with this one? Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see you now, and you're sort of vertical, not horizontal. So that's how you look, your image. So even though your laptop might be, it looks
How
like it.
about now?
Oh, it's gone now.
Okay, so it's gone now. Okay, now how about now?
Yeah, it's back, and you're just vertical. I mean, you're not.
Yes.
You're like 180 degrees turned. So yeah, can still see you. That's okay. It's better than a black box. Just you're on the side. That's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah, we can see you. Yeah, yeah. So just then, what you're doing is moving between. Yeah, you can end the previous.
Can end the Zoom? End
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Zoom.
Because I need to put the other screen on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, can see you. That's all right.
So stop
Yeah,
screen
stop
sharing.
sharing, and then I'll share the other screen so people can know. And we've got about 3 minutes before we
Okay.
start. That's all right. And I'll put some music, the starting music on. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke. And today we have Dr. Huddie Namo presenting. It's Sunday, the 20th of October 2024, or the 18th of September in the 12th year of Chongal Group. So thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Chanji Champamuninge. Chombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가전맨세 3. 전국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 판조권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 3. Our family, the owner of Chongal, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. Thank you. I'd like to ask Reverend Norman if he could offer the opening prayer, please.
Join me in prayer. Our most dearest, lovely Heavenly Parents and our beloved true parents, thank you so much for this beautiful day. Thank you for your protection and your guidance throughout of the past weeks, and you bring us safely in this beautiful morning as a family. Before we continue on this day, Heavenly Parents, we want to offer this day. May you lead and direct us, Heavenly Parents. As we prepare to hear your word from Dr. Huddie, may you open our hearts and our minds so that we may receive this message, and parents to lead and direct us in this new week ahead of us. This is my prayer, offer this prayer on behalf of my brothers and sisters here in our couples, Norman and Florida, Blessed Central Family, Aju.
Thank you. Let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Huddie as he shares this morning. All right. Thank you. We had a little bit of issue with his camera, but at least his camera's working. He's sort of sideways, but that's all good.
How's my camera now?
Your
Still-
camera is we can
Still-
see you.
Still vertical?
Still vertical. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll just
Yeah, just
go ahead.
yeah.
Okay, let's share the screen.
Yeah. Yep. You're on family back. Yeah, got to go previous. Keep going previous to your beginning. And yep, there you are.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It's clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Reverend John and Reverend Yutaka for giving me this opportunity this morning to be able to share my, as I title it, my personal and life of faith journey. Yeah, on previous occasions, I think I was asked to make a presentation, but was unable to due to circumstances beyond my control. So I'm happy for this opportunity to be able to share with you my life journey, personal and life of faith journey. Okay. I made my presentation in such a way that I'll start before meeting the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification Movement. In the past, before I met the movement, there were stories about the church, shared by one of my uncles. He shared that, there's a church founded by a prophet, from South Korea, known as Sun Myung Moon, where members could be matched and married to overseas people. Dedicated members, as he put it, have to do mission work for a certain number of years. And if they remain still faithful to one another, that is to their engaged partners, then they can be married to the engaged spouses later on. Therefore, at the back of my mind, during those times, I was wondering as to what was so special about these engaged couples that one has to wait faithfully for a long period of time before getting married to the engaged spouses. Isn't there fish all around? Isn't there, people around? Why you have to wait for, someone? That was my thinking back then. That's the prelude to my presentation. Okay, my family background. My birth name is Hudson Namosoya. In Are language, Namosoya means, a warrior, asking to fight, But as with many Solomon Islanders, when their surname is difficult to be pronounced, they just shorten it as just shorten it in such a way that their names can be easily pronounced. So in my case, my father shortened our name to just Namo instead of the Namoswe long. Sometimes it was difficult to pronounce the word, so they just shortened the name to just surname Namo. Okay, during my schooling years, I used the name Huddie Namo. It's a derivative of Hudson, So I don't know how I came to use that name, but that's how I was called back then. And I used to sort of use that name as my schooling name in school. My date of birth is 4th of July, 1977. And I was born at Kilufi Hospital in Malaita province. It wasn't coincidence because a few years ago, I was also working at that same hospital. So it's sort of like it brought on flashbacks. I was just thinking that, which place in this hospital was the delivery room. But as happens usually with buildings, usually when buildings were erected, you have certain smaller building first, and then you have larger buildings being built later on. So it was the same case with Kilufi Hospital as well. The original building was no longer there. It was already demolished. So in my family, I am the second born in a family of 4. We adopted a brother, so that makes us 5 in total. So as you can see there, that's my family. on the left is our, on the first picture on the left, sitting down on the left of the picture is my adopted brother, Kabolo. That's the name we call him, but he's known as Daniel. And then next to him is Freddie. He's currently in Australia at the moment, doing his PhD. I think somewhere in South Australia or something, in Adelaide, somewhere there. And then you have my mom in the middle. Sorry, just have to go previously. And then my mom in the middle, and then myself, and then my smaller sister. That's the last one, Joy. And then my elder sister, Jenny. That's the one sitting on the right side, on the far right. Just the next photo on the right is just a picture when well, during our younger years. We have a bigger sister, Jenny, on the left, and then my smaller brother, Freddie, in the middle, and my last one, sister Joy, the small girl there, and that's me on the far right, holding a balloon, probably sick, was sick at that time, so the face was not really bright. Yeah, some more photos. The quality of the photos, some are not really good. I just see what I can do. My mom, that's me. That was around, I think 1987 or 88, around those years. My smaller brother, Freddie, now live in Nani. That's holding Freddie, and then Jenny and my small sister, Joy. Yeah, that's the picture on the left is myself when I was a little kid with my sister, Jenny on the right, and a small, I think, kid from New Zealand, I think, yeah. The picture was taken at Gizo around 1980, when my father was posted at Gizo. Yeah, some photos. I think the picture on the right was taken around 1985. The one small baby is Freddie, live in Nani. Yeah, move on. That's a much more recent photograph. The one on the left, yellow shade, is my adopted brother. Then that's me in the middle, and my spouse, Mavis, who is also here with me. Then my smaller sister, Joy, on the right. And that's my dad sitting down there, and my mom. Both of them have already passed on into the spirit world. Okay, I'll move on. Where I come from. Okay, so as you can see there on the left, that's the picture, that's the map of Solomon Islands. And as you can see there, that's Honiara. And that's where the capital of Solomon Islands is. And then Malaita is the island just towards the right. So I have a much bigger picture of the Malaita province. Excuse me. So, if you want to go to my province of Malaita, you will have to travel by boat from Honiara, the capital, and then you will go to the province. Okay, as you can see right there, on the picture on the right, you have small Malaita in the end. And there is a passage between small Malaita, that's the smaller portion of the island towards your right, and the bigger island is Big Malaita, okay? That's on your left. It's not really clear, but if you look at that photo clearly, you will see that there is sort of like a passageway between these two islands. And that's the main entrance. That if you come from Honiara, you will land at the beginning of the passage is one area called Afio. So you have to travel through that passage, and then you go in by ship, and then you will see just that bay over there, just next to the word Are Are. That bay there, that's where my village is, and it's called Maromasike village. But the name is not on that island, not on that map. But just recently we've moved to our own settlement, and that settlement we call Poi Village. So as you can see clearly on the map, Malaita is made up of different ethnic regions. It's about 12 or 13. You have at the tip of the island, towards your left, Tobaita region. And then followed by Tobaita, you have the Bailele speaking people, and then the Baigu, and then the Fataleka, and then the Kwarai. So Kwarai area is where my mother comes from the same island of Malaita. That's the picture on your right. So if you look at the names, you will try and work out. Sorry, the names are a bit difficult to pronounce. But Kwarai is K-W-A-R-A-K-A-E. That's Kwarai. That's the region where my mother comes from. And my father comes from the region of Arare. That's the region I've just mentioned earlier on. No? That's the region that's below the island, towards the small Malaita region. Okay, so a little bit about Malaita province. Usually, Malaita province, the aggressive people from Malaita comes from the northern part. That's the Tobaita region. That's the tip of the island. Tobaita, Bailele, Baigu. You know, these are the aggressive people from the province. You know, and excuse me. And our region, my father's region, which is our region, is the region of Malaita province where people are easygoing and people are not that aggressive. And one thing about this region of Malaita province is that in most of the ministries of the government and non-governmental organizations, you will see that most people come from this region of southern region of Malaita province. That's from small Malaita, that's the small island, plus the Are region of Malaita province. They are mostly interested in schooling, you know, compared to other parts of the Malaita province. So you will find that most people who are working in offices, both in the private sector and government, comes from this region of Harare, or in other words, Harare in combination with Small Malete, we used to refer to this region as Southern region. So the first Prime Minister of Solomon Islands, that's Sir Peter Kendilore, also comes from this particular region of Harare. Okay, let's move on. Okay, well, just that's about my religious background, my Christian religious background. My father's church is the Anglican Church of Melanesia. It used to be known as Church of Melanesia, just Church of Melanesia. Just recently, the church changed its name back to Anglican Church of Melanesia. So it's sort of like just use the word Anglican in front of Church of Melanesia. I don't know why, but perhaps to sort of like so that people can make a connection or something with the mother church, which is Anglican. As I've said, it is connected to the Church of England. The church also had historic ties and connections to New Zealand through missionaries. You know, as a matter of fact, the church owns some properties there. I'm not really sure. I think it's Auckland or somewhere in New Zealand. And these properties, sort of like a trust board is looking after these properties, and the properties are earning an income, and the income is actually the money that the church survives on. The money is used to pay the clergy, the salaries of the clergy and laity and others working in the church. But just recently, I think there is a controversy surrounding that property. I'm not really sure. I think the original people of New Zealand, the Maoris, I think they want to take back that property. I think, as I understand it, there was some litigation that ended up in the New Zealand High Court. I'm not really sure the status of that piece of land now, as we speak, as I'm speaking. It is the predominant denomination in Solomon Islands, the Anglican Church of Melanesia. And as a matter of fact, the Prime Minister and the Governor General are from that church. It's interesting. The church do not usually emphasize health and personal hygiene of their churchgoers. Most churchgoers chew betel nut and smoke, including the clergy. Just recently, I think Pastor Alaki, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, held a conference, basically mostly attended by faith-based organizations. And it's interesting that in that meeting, you know, one clergy from the Anglican Church of Melanesia had to admit, you know, to the other faith-based organizations present in the meeting that that's their weakness. The church weakness is not stressing, you know, personal hygiene and health of its adherents. Yeah. Let's move on. It's interesting that one of my paternal ancestors, that's on the side of my father, helped to bring the church to the Are district region. That's my area. During those times, you know, being a hidden, is not fully committed Christian, although attending church, but still holding on to his traditions and black magic. That's the interesting thing about my paternal grandfather, but he was one of those early hidden people being brought to the church, and he was instrumental in spreading the gospel in my region of area. Okay. I'll touch on my mother's faith. My mother's Christian denomination is Southeast Evangelical Church, formerly the Southeast Evangelical Mission. And this is a church movement that started in the sugar plantations in Queensland, known as the Queensland Kanak Mission. And that mission was started by Florence Young, an Australian. In fact, one of their schools currently, in Honiara is being named after that lady. The local founder is Peter Ambu Ofa, and he's from North Malaita. It was an interesting story about that fellow. Peter was one of the people being captured during the black bedding days. And then he was brought down to work at some of the sugar plantations in Queensland. So at that time, it was agreed that they should have make it lenient a little bit. So some of these people, they they were given the liberty to go back to their respective islands. So Peter came back to the Solomons, and then he brought the church to the region of northern region of Malaita. And initially, he was trying to be killed by his relatives, and he said, "You kill me, go ahead and kill me." But somehow, when they tried to chop him or try to stab him with their traditional knives and axes, it was unsuccessful. Because of help from God. And there was an interesting story about Peter as well. He was the person that blessed the first Prime Minister of Solomon, Sir Peter Keneloria's father. During that time, there was an interesting story. During that time, when they tried to sort of collect offerings from the congregation, it happened that Peter also put one of his offering bowl or tray besides the main offering. Excuse me. So he was telling the people that if they could kindly give also while donating to the church, they can personally donate to him as well. But the people at the time did not agree with that idea. So it was during that time that Sir Peter Keneloria's father, he's a pastor. He went to Peter Ambu Ofa's village, and then he brought with them the offering from the region, our region. And so it actually touched Peter Ambu Ofa's heart, and therefore he blessed Sir Peter Keneloria's father, and then he prophesied and said that and then he told Peter Keneloria's father that if you, from now and onwards, that was then, that the southern region, the RR region, will be the head, and then the northern region will be the tail. And since then, case seemed to come upon his people of the northern region of Tobaita. And then it's the RR region or the southern region that's being blessed. So he promised Sepita Kenrola's father. I just forgot his name. He promised him, he said that if you, any first son that you bore, you will name him after me, Peter. And then that son of yours will be the one that will bring restoration to this nation, that will bring independence to this nation. And then his prophetic words were actually fulfilled. That pastor, Sepita Kenrola's father, you know, had Peter and then named him Peter, and then he was the first prime minister of Solomon Islands. That's the small, interesting story about this founder of this SSEC church. That's the local founder. Excuse me. My maternal grandfather also did something extraordinary. You know, he joined the Hands Up movement, that a thing called Hands Up movement. You know, this thing called Hands Up movement is a movement where people will sort of like declare in front of their congregation two things. One is they will not receive any compensation. In our traditional culture, if someone, you know, does anything bad towards you, now you can demand or you can sort of like ask him to pay compensation. Like, for example, girls, huh? If your daughter, someone sort of like, you know, play up with your daughter, you know, had a fling or something with your daughter, you have a right to ask compensation. But the people who joined the Hands Up movement, you know, they don't encourage this. The other thing about the Hands Up movement is they don't bride price. They don't encourage bride price. So when my father married my mother, there was no bride price being paid. Although my father tried his best to try and pay bride price to my grandfather, but it was not successful because of the Hands Up movement. The Hands Up movement being joined by my grandfather. So as a result, he could not accept bride price. That's something interesting about my maternal grandfather. Okay, we'll move on. My educational background. How are we with regards to time, Reverend John? Do we have?
Yeah, you're
yeah.
okay. You can continue.
I'm okay.
Yeah, not a problem. Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. I attended a YWCA. YWCA stands for Young Women's Christian Association. It's a kindergarten just now, just next to New Hope. When I was a little kid, that's the first school I attended, including other schools as well, kinder schools as well. But at the time, it's very rare for kinder schools. YWCA is just one of the kinder schools available at that time. And I attended St. John's Primary School, and that school is just down here in my neighborhood at Rove. So that's the school I attended. And then I went to Wemapuro National Secondary School. I did my Form 1 to Form 5. And then from there, I passed on to King George National Secondary School. I did my Form 6 there. And then I did my USP, King George 6 Foundation year. At that time, we were the first lot to start the foundation here. So although the program is under University of the South Pacific, the initials USP stands for University of the South Pacific. But the program was run at the school, King George 6th National Secondary School. And I got a scholarship to study in Australia, University of Queensland. But I turned down the offer for just a third country, that's in PNG. It's interesting why I turned down the offer. I had a discussion, an interesting discussion with the scholarship officer at that time. And he said that, you know, they have a history of students, you know, the failure rate for students studying in Australia was very high. So, and then because my scholarship was medicine, in Australia, it was a bit different, you know. Probably some universities you can probably do direct that course. But for University of Queensland, I'm not really sure now. But at that time, you have to do a prerequisite course. So the prerequisite course where I was supposed to do was Bachelor of Science, and that's a 3 years program. And then combine it with the 4 years medicine course that will result in 7 years. But in PNG, it's sort of like only 5 years. And then having listened intently to what the scholarship officer said, you know, I don't want to be part of history. To, you know, maybe there's a likelihood that people that in the past that went on scholarship to Australia, due to culture shock, they didn't do well, and they, you know, had to return back to the country. So yeah, so I went instead to UPNG. UPNG stands for University of Papua New Guinea, and I studied medicine. The course is known as MBBS. So it's a Bachelor of Surgery and Bachelor of Medicine. And then after that, I came back, and then I think started work around 2004. Initially as a senior registrar, working at the National Referral Hospital as a emergency physician. Then after that, I went to Granville Province. I became their provincial health director. And then after that, I went to Malaita Province. I became the provincial health director. And then from there, I came to the headquarters, Ministry of Health headquarters. And I was the director of TB and leprosy then. Yeah. During my time when working, I also had further studies. I went to University of the South Pacific. Just something about my journey. Sorry, I'll just go previously. Yeah, some pictures about my schools that I attended. On the left is my school, Waimapuru National Secondary School. Actually, it's a government school. The government owns only 2 schools, Waimapuru and the King George 6 School. And then the picture on the right is, I was the DAC student in 1995. Usually the DAC student is only for Form 6 students. But unfortunately, when they look at the reports of Form 6 students at the time, they could not meet the requirements. So at the time, I did my 5th form, so they had to pick me. Yeah. So the picture on the left is my late mom. On the side, that's University of Papua New Guinea graduation. That's the MBBS. On the right is Adawantok students from Solomon Islands, also graduating. They are doctors working at the hospital now. I put there one interesting thing about the medicine course that I first time to come across then was the negative marking. Oh man, it was horrible. Now you could actually sit for an exam, and our lecturers sort of like try and encourage us not to guess answers. When you sit for an exam, you must not guess answers. You must be sure before you circle your answer or write your answer down. So if you get something wrong, they will put a negative mark. So sometimes you will end up have negative, results. That's the interesting about this course, MBS. So the idea behind is that they want to train you as a medical officer not to guess, the illness of patients, but you must be sure about what you are doing. That's the philosophy or the idea behind the negative marking. Let's move on. Yeah, this is University of the South Pacific. I managed to, with the help of God, graduate with a postgraduate certificate in finance, postgraduate diploma in human resource management, and a master's in business administration. Okay, meeting the movement. I first heard about the movement from my sister. Now is inactive now. He's currently joined a charismatic church recently. Every time she tried to invite me to attend a divine principle workshop at the center, I continuously declined. I said, Jesus is the only way, the truth and the life, and no one else. So during those times, Japanese missionaries would usually, come around to our, house, So in one of the occasions, they gave holy wine to my parents. Personal religious awakening. One day, one of the divine principle level 4 book was just laying around at home. I think that book belonged to my sister, I read that book. Somehow I don't know what happened. I read that book and suddenly it made sense to me. And I was convinced that the second coming of John the Baptist, the philosophy or the idea behind the second coming of Elijah as the Baptist, made sense after all. Would happen like the first time through his birth. But physically, a different person will be the Messiah, not the same Jesus. But the Spirit of Jesus will be working with him. And this is the photograph that I took then when I I was convinced about the Messiah and the principle. So I want to receive the blessing at that time. But unfortunately, it could not materialize. It's not that logistically, it was not easy. So the blessing, I received the blessing in February 2002, 400 million couples. That's the third phase in Korea. And the actual place was the fencing gymnastics stadium in Korea. I think probably that was I'm not sure, but the stadium could be used also for the Olympic Games. I'm not really sure about that. About 10 couples from Solomon Islands, we attended that blessing. So some pictures from that blessing. As you can see on the left, we have a Reverend Song couple with me and my spouse in that gymnasium. That's inside. that gymnasium during the blessing. And on the right is another photograph of that same blessing. Some more blessing photographs. That's the wedding picture of me and my spouse. The one on the left, and the one on the right is the one prior to the holy wine ceremony. Is it before? Oh, after the holy wine ceremony. Okay, some providential activities. I was the president of Hana Football Club, as commonly everybody knows. Uncle Rex is a coach, and he started sort of like engaging in soccer activities. Started from Naha Football Club, and later on we formed the Hana Football Club. And then we helped to organize Global Peace Festival, Peace Soccer Tournament. Helped contribute to activities when True Parents came to Solomon Islands in 2005. That was, of course, during Reverend John's Adamides time here in the Solomon Islands. So thank you, Reverend John, for your investment in Solomon Islands. I was also the chairman of Civil Society Committee that brought the anti-corruption bill to Parliament, which was very unpopular with the politicians at that time. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. Organize a political open forum, an avenue where political parties could promote their political party policies to the public. Recently too, we were grateful to register the New Hope Academy and an education provider. So I was the team leader to submit the proposal to the ministry. Currently, Tongil Mutu President, Chairman of the Hope Academy School Board, and member of the National New Hope Academy Classroom Steering Committee. These are some pictures to sort of like it's a campaign to bring the anti-corruption bill to Parliament. So on the left, that's a picture taken with Prime Minister Manasseh Sogobare when we went to meet him. At that time, he was for the bill, but his ministers and his backbenchers seemed not to want that bill. So we tried to sort of like try to help him to sort of like align with us. So that's the photograph we took back then. And then the picture on the right is the rally that we held to bring that anti-corruption bill back to Parliament. So I'm glad that we were successful in bringing that bill back to Parliament to become the Anti-Corruption Act at the moment in Solomon Islands. Although there are some provisions in that act which would like to for it to be included in the original bill, but somehow we have to bargain with the politicians to remove them. It's a trade-off anyway. Yeah.
So, Dr. Huddie, we're
Yeah.
starting to run out of time. So if you
Okay.
just speed up a little bit.
Oh, okay. So this is the picture about the education provider certificate that we received from the Minister of Education. Some providential photos. Me and Reverend Song, Dr. Song, that's in PNG. One of the pictures about a seminar. Then you can see Reverend Greg Stone there as well, and as well as Reverend Song. So some favorite words from true parents. Religious leaders today fall on their knees and pray for their own blessings, but I have never prayed to receive blessings. Instead, I prayed, let me be a sacrificial offering for the sake of your liberation. Next, favorite words from true parents. I cannot use my mouth to curse others, even as I hold back my words. Heaven releases me completely from my bitter feelings. Next word, do not offer thanks for living a comfortable life. You must feel grateful for bearing a cross. Thank you. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Huddie.
Yeah.
It's
So I'll stop share.
Yeah, stop sharing, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you. It's very nice to hear your journey, and I remember meeting you several times during my time and after, and it's great to see that your family has such an interesting history and background, and bringing in Christianity to the Ara region, and for you to finally recognize and understand about true parents and receive the blessing. It's great that you can continue and to help those that have disconnected to come back again. So thank you for your help and support always. And we can ask anyone to make a comment, if they like. Yes, Margaret, go ahead.
Good morning, and thank you so much, Dr. Huddie. That was such a great history background of Solomon. I like the understanding of your faith before. And I have a question. How do you approach Christians now with this strong stance that only Jesus, the way, the truth, and the light, a kind of faith? How do you talk to your Christian brothers and sisters dealing with that kind of strong faith in Christianity?
It's a challenge, actually. It's not easy. So the only thing that we'll tell them is you have to study from the beginning. In order to understand the whole concept, you have to study from the beginning, and then it will make it easy for them to understand. Because if we just go straight in the middle, they won't understand. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. I like also the way you expressed, though even though Christianity has been established, there's also still the attachment to the culture, and particularly chewing betel nut and doing magic. Uh, there is and the point you mentioned about health relating to that, that's also a problem in Palau with the chewing of the betel nut too.
Okay, thanks, Margaret. If there's anyone else that wants to make a comment. No, if there's no one else, then it is a time for us to offer our unison prayer, so we can just go straight to that. I'll bring up the screen, and there it is. So, and let's pray together. Thank you. Jew, Jew, Jew. And interestingly enough, during my prayer, somehow Spirit World was telling me to say that I need to mention that Dr. Huddie is really a strong and humble, righteous man and is a great asset to the Solomon Islands. And yeah, I don't know why he asked me to say that, but anyway, I was asked to say that. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you have a great day and see you all again tomorrow. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you, John. Maybe
Thank
it's
you.
true. It's okay.
I think it is.
Okay.
Thank you, Huddie. God bless
Thank you,
you.
Huddie. Yeah.
Thanks to know about
Thank you,
you.
Dr. Huddie.
Thank
Great.
you.
John.
Thank you. Thank you
Absolutely
all for your
brilliant.
kind words.
Yeah.